Can I just say right off the bat, I frickin' called it, man. Venture back to well over a month ago to our video on the Moonstone event, and you'll not only be guided on how to do said event, but you'll join me as I turn my attention to the skies to answer some intriguing questions. I'll hint at the possibility of the moon being a celestial being, and not just a floating rock. I'll question why Charlie allowed us to construct the celestial portal, and how she is very likely not very fond of the moon itself. And then, I'll just straight up say that I believe the next updates were gonna be lunar related, and you know what? Here we are with the return of them. Let's talk the Lunar Biome. It's a relatively massive piece of land actually, however, it also serves as an island, at least for now. So, to get there you'll have to do my new favorite thing in Don't Starve Together, sailing. But have fun. Make land and chances are you'll be loony already. That's because while on the Lunar Biome, our sanity meter changes to the all-new Enlightenment Meter. But what exactly does that mean for us? Well, once lunacy is high enough, a new quote-unquote enemy appears, Gestalt. And as Wickerbottom exclaims, they are the projections of something stronger. So Gestalts don't actually do any damage at all. Instead, they will look to stun the player initially and can render them asleep too if more than one attacks in quick succession. But they are very easy to avoid. But in general, lunacy corresponds to sanity, so showing up to the Lunar Island with lower sanity levels means lower starting lunacy. But how does it all work then? Well, as far as I can tell, lunacy levels increase by 1 every minute and 30 seconds up until around 100 lunacy or so, and that is without other outside influences. But stand near one of the new celestial fissures, and that can jump to up to +1 lunacy every 2 seconds. But these fissures do have an effective range to them as well, so be mindful of that while you're roaming about. And once you reach roughly 95 plus sanity, then the Gestalts will begin to appear, but they actually do remain non-hostile. That is, until you reach 100 plus sanity. Then they will begin to target you, and getting hit by one of them raises lunacy by 10 points each time. But in other words, the longer you remain in proximity to the cool but new weird stuff, the loopier you get. However, we can fight crazy with even crazier. Drop your sanity to 0 by any means, and your lunacy will also remain at 0. Getting rid of that wacky blue lunar filter thing that's going on, and negating any effects of the biome, like Gestalt spawning for instance. Mechanics-wise, I find it lovely that we can combat status effects with status effects, but the potential lore behind these impactual hindrances and why they sway back and forth is actually far more intriguing. Spoiler alert, the moon is a celestial being with immense power and control, but I don't think it was that drew us here to this island. I think Charlie, our lovable but albeit terrifying personification of darkness, sent us here with the knowledge that her domain, darkness and sanity, could help us navigate this new land and eventually do her bidding in vanquishing her nemesis, the moon, or at least whatever or whomever is on it. It's a foundation of a theory that we'll have to flesh out later. For now, know that coming to the biome with lower than max sanity is actually advised, and keeping it down will not require drastic means unless, of course, you're playing Maxwell. Others can just use a simple dark sword in the Gate Enlightenment, or don the wet and smelly sea wreath. But you'll need much more than just the new hat, however. What else is new on the island? Well, we got new loon trees that drop wood, loon tree blossoms, and even moon moths, sort of the new equivalent of a butterfly. And yes, you can capture them with a bug net, and I suggest you do, as these little guides lead to some interesting new additions, but don't dilly-dally. They don't last long. With one, you can summon an all-new pet, the Moth Wing. If you don't know or recall the recipe for flower salad, you'll need some cactus flower, cactus itself, and maybe some veggies in a crock pot to whip one up. This also means the earliest one can get a Mothling is summer, by the way. The Mothling is a beautiful new critter with great color and some mighty fine, interesting eyeballs, but she also brings with her a permanent light aura. Sure, it's rather small, but it is enough to stave off Charlie, and oh boy, I bet she's pissed about us using a lunar creature to our advantage. And by the by, the frickin' Mothling is frickin' adorable when it's sleeping. Just a reminder though, these moon moths barely last a day, so you gotta get your butt moving. But if they are left to die off on their own, they leave behind moon moth wings, an item that heals for 8, fills you up for nearly 10, and grants 15 sanity per munch, and that's bloody insane and incredibly farmable. But the ones you do capture can be planted anywhere to start the growth process of more lunar trees. But off the island, it appears the average growth time is about 4 minutes and 30-ish seconds, but that decreases to roughly 3 minutes and 20 seconds if you replant them on the island itself, so choose wisely. Now, I need you to pick a carrot. What the heck? That ain't no carrot, folks. That's a carrot. By either picking or shoveling a planted carrot, one of these little guys will emerge. They are a non-hostile creature very similar to rabbits, and they are attracted to seeds. And this can be used to your advantage tremendously. Because with their measly 25 health, you'll be slaughtering nature's newest beauties left and right. They drop leafy meat, so they do classify as monsters apparently, but they also have a chance to drop carrot seeds too, making murder yet another way to obtain a specific crop seed. Very nice. How about stone fruit bushes? Those are new too. They sure are, but that means new mechanics too. Like how picking some of these at the wrong time can completely disintegrate the fruit itself. You can tell that the bush is ready for proper harvest by seeing whether or not the stones on it are cracked or not. But even just picking the supposed fruit is not enough, because like Maxwell says, it's still a bloody stone for Pete's sake. And that's because you need to actually mine the stones themselves to reveal your prizes. You can get ripe stone fruit, a food that fills and heals for low numbers of each, or you can get a plain old rock, or you can get a sprouting stone fruit that can be replanted to start the growth of a full bush. But holy crap, it takes a long time. I don't know why, because stone fruits are pretty not good actually, but perhaps they'll serve a bigger purpose down the line. Oh, you can also just dig up the bushes for replanting anyway, so that's likely gonna be your better option regardless. Since we have our pickaxe at the ready, let's discuss a new rock formation present on the Lunar Island, moon glass. Mine these moony structures to obtain moon shards, the newest material that will be needed to craft a great deal soon enough. So amass it while you can. And while you're at it, you'll likely encounter another neutral mob, the Salamander. As Maxwell says, they are quite territorial, and actually protect the hot springs you've been seeing dotted about. Salamanders will hiss and show dominance towards one another, and the weakest one will eventually leave while the other stays put at their hot and bubbly home. We'll talk more about them later, but know that they love hot things, including thermal stones. So if you have one, you may get some following you after too long. But how about a brand new nightmare in the form of shattered spiders, a new moon variant of an old friend. They share the same loot for now, and can still be baited as their normal attack does remain. But these suckers can now summon 3 to 7 spikes from the ground beneath you to do some damage. It's easy to dodge, but this is but one. If you're brave, stupid, or bravely stupid, then mine a shattered spider hole to bring the ruckus. 4 shattered spiders will emerge and come looking to bite your face off. And the worst part is just getting off the webbing, as you're like a sitting duck on it with their spike attack. But once you're off it, it's really quite simple still to just bait and avoid the spikes, run in, get a couple hits, and continue to keep moving as the not go deadzo. That's the point. Keep moving. Shattered spiders can still be stunned too, so make note of that. I hit the moon nest 3 times prior to its eventual destruction, and 4 shattered spiders emerged each time. Not counting the ones I killed prior to that, and not counting the ones that are here right now. That's already 12 total spiders per nest, and that's easily trumping anything that we are used to. So clearing these will not be as simple as you have grown to know, but for now, I wouldn't even bother. as you only get loot that is easily obtainable elsewhere. The Lunar Island kinda has its own biome set up too. Like how the rock biome sees normal and moon boulders along with moon glass formations around with moon rock, normal rock, and even moon shards littering the ground. But most importantly, the biome is home to inviting formations. You might be saying that there's nothing inviting about them, but our character suggests that someone is talking to them, egging them on. The draw is so strong that even while mining these formations, our characters seem to be quite desperate to free what lies within. And what lies within are 3 individual pieces of the new celestial altar. So, keep your eye out for all 3 inviting formations and then properly construct a new altar within a celestial fissure, and you'll now have access to 6 new celestial or enlightened recipes. But let's break them down. We have the Moon Glass Axe, made from but 2 twigs and 3 shards. It has 80 uses and does a respectable 34 damage to boot. But the real winner is its 2.5 times efficiency over that of normal axes. In other words, you'll chop like the wind, but be limited by its durability. However, the trade-off is worth it when you want to get your wood up fast. We got the Glass Cutter, a weapon that uses a board and 6 shards to craft, but is the equivalent of a dark sword in everything but durability. However, the weapon only uses half of said durability when fighting shadows and even the ancient Fuel Weaver himself, and that's bloody amazing, and only fuels the thought of an impending war between these entities that will likely see us in the center of all of it. But let's use our new toy against some new creatures, shall we? Salamanders are an incredibly easy kite, as their health may be quite high for such a little guy, but their range and speed is abysmal. You'll have no issues there, and with your new slice and dice weapon of choice, most anything is gonna fall to your hand. How about Moon Cratered Turf? Is there anything special there? Well, unless I'm missing something really dang obvious, then no. I tested it while on the island and off it and found no bonuses or penalties were taking effect at all. At least, for now. Here is something of use, however. Bath bombs. Using those lunar blossoms we got from loon trees prior, plus a little niter on the side, we can craft some for our pleasure. Bath bombs actually do spoil, so be mindful there. Plus, according to Maxwell at least, they smell rather lovely, so there's that. They are used to heat up hot springs when tossed in them, and salamanders absolutely love it. Whoever owns the spring will come sleep nearby, and after a few seconds it will ripen or transform into a red salamander version instead of a green one. And in this ripened state, the salamander actually does share the same stats as their greener counterparts, but it can now bring the heat. Apart from its normal attacks, the salamander sort of bursts into flames, setting anything around it on fire, so be careful there. And the best parts? Those little guys drop dragon fruit when dead. Yes, a dragon fruit. Once only obtainable via farms, the elusive fruit is now just a few sword swings away from filling your belly with joy. Hooray for murder of innocent and cute animals. We ain't nothing without some new decor. The newest butterfly figure sketch can be made to construct the Maudling Statue, and can I just say how sad I am about not having any colors to these things? Following the inclusion of this new set of stone, on top of that, the new quote-unquote moon statue simply steals the show especially. Gosh man, I'd love to see these in color, and the moon statue in particular is glorious. It's spawning so many intriguing questions, and I am just happy to see more of it. But how about the new rocky beach biome as well? What's happening there? Well, we got trees that can be cut down that drop a number of driftwood, which can be used to repair our circles of wood that float, and will likely serve more of a purpose down the line. We got sea bones of creatures we will hopefully be fishing for soon enough, and when hammered they drop bone shards, so there's no surprise there. How about anemones? Maxwell claims they're just silly old starfish, but they're literally named an enemy. So, come on, Maxwell. This is the constant, dude. Everything wants you dead, and these are no different. They deal 29.6 damage upon someone or something walking over them, and that is ridiculous. And now, Maxwell will think differently about these silly old starfish of death, but you can actually bait out their attack and then shovel them for replanting purposes later, like for when you want a hound teeth trap area without any teeth trap. These anemones have no durability as well, so they'll be around to help you out forever. Speaking of hounds, there's something rather terrifyingly morbid happening on this island. Currently, hounds that die on the Lunar Island have a 50% chance to be reborn as horror hounds. These nightmarish variants literally burst out of the dead hounds and may have less health than normal puppies, but they attack faster and do more damage as well. It's an awesome new mechanic, and I cannot wait to see what else it will be applied to. Even the big bads themselves. There is bull kelp on the beach, and you might just be saying big or whoop beard, but there is an added bonus. The bull kelp stalk. It's a ranged melee weapon not dissimilar from the Tail 03 cat's whip that we can already create. It's not the greatest thing ever, especially because it can just straight up snap on you out of the blue, and it spoils. But hey, it's something. We're on a lunar island, so a full moon best sees some action. The celestial fissures will spew out more lunar essence, meaning more potential lunacy gained even with sanity nullifiers equipped. And tossing a bath bomb into a spring under the moon's watchful eye will actually result in the spring formating a swirling moon glass formation that can be mined for 5 moon shards total. The best part is that the spring fills right back up, making this an easy and very efficient method for farming a crap ton of shards in but a single night. Oh, and one final note, pangolins are now the most horrifying thing in the entire game, and I bloody told you so months ago. Do not underestimate the potential of pangolins, especially now that they are encased in moon rock. They act very similar to normal pangolins, but have a 50% chance to drop ice as well, so that's pretty cool. But this is how you do content, folks. Thematically fluid, properly implemented apart from personal preferences regarding the location of the island itself, and served up on a platter for players to actually experience the bloody experience. The return of them is near, and I cannot be more excited to pick a side, the demoness of darkness or the lunacy of the moon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Well wishes to all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.